we're polling Trump supporters. Do you support Ukraine?
I support him.
You support him. You're doubling the heart.
Yes, that's what we want to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mac Daddy right there.
Do you have a thought on the poll? Do you support Ukraine? Yes or no? You could add wherever there's space.
Yeah, we'll let that one go.
We'll let that one go, but we'll put the heart out.
Definitely have a heart.
Thank you. Quick thoughts on the leaders on the board, real quickly, starting with Trump.
Trump is amazing.
And what about Biden?
Calligraphy. Do you porn?
All right, everybody, I'm your host, Elad. Today we're reporting to you from Georgia, where Trump is holding a rally in support of candidates like Herschel Walker, who's running for Senate here, and David Perdue, he's running for governor here. He's running against Brian Kemp, who Trump sees as insufficiently loyal to him. But who cares about those actual politics going on here? The real questions Americans are concerned about is if they support Ukraine or not. So let's ask Trump supporters today if they support Ukraine. Let's go. We're going to start this off by doing a little bit of, we need to start this off by doing a little bit of social proof. We need to make sure that, the Trump supporters know exactly what to do out here. So if the question is, do you support Ukraine? Look, I'm not trying to rig anything, but... Start with 3 over here, 1 over there.
You gotta get them going.
I don't know exactly how I was going to do it, but start 1. Thank you.
You got them
Big vote for Ukraine. Do you support Ukraine? Oh, in the no column. You guys want to vote?
Yes.
Yes, another. Let's see what's going on. Another vote for Ukraine.
Hill. It's so true. Okay.
Oh.
Yes! You're a G. Dude, that is so perfect. Absolutely factual. I love this woman. I mean, who could be better president? You're amazing.
What do you think about the conflict in Ukraine?
I support the people of Ukraine, but I do not support the government of Ukraine.
Absolutely. What do you think about Putin invading?
I don't think that he invaded the people of Ukraine. I think that he is taking care of the deep state and the biolabs in Ukraine.
Do you think Putin's doing a good job then? Because he says he's trying to denazify Ukraine and take out these so-called biolabs. When you hear Putin talk about that stuff, well, what do you think?
I think he's trying to do a good thing. I think he's going to give them freedom in the end.
Yeah. What do you think this says for America?
I'm not really sure yet. I think the government we have right now is weak and not doing the right thing.
Can I go in a quick circle and ask you what you think about the leaders on the board here? So we could start with Trump. What do you think of Trump?
Best president ever.
Let's go to Joe Biden.
Worst president ever.
Worst president ever?
Yes.
Vladimir Zelensky.
Corrupt.
Corrupt. And then let's go to the bottom left in Putin.
I think he's doing a good job, but I'm a little, unsure. Hoping he's doing the right thing.
Corrupt, worst president ever. You think he's doing the right thing?
I hope so.
You hope
I
so?
really hope so.
No. Can I ask why not?
They're corrupt.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, sir. The question is, do you support Ukraine? Yes or no?
Yes.
Nice. Thank you so much for your time. Can I ask you?
Not done yet.
Yeah, go for it. Can I ask while you're doing that, why do you support Ukraine?
because they are downtrodden, they're screwed up, they've been screwed over, and the poor citizens, they're being hurt. The regular people, I don't care about politicians, the regular people, they don't deserve that.
I support the citizens of Ukraine, but not militarily, no.
I'll put you down for, I'll classify that as a no. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rally.
God bless.
Thank you. Actually, come. Man, they left. They were the hot girls. Okay, let's shoot this thing. You ready? Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I wanted to talk a little bit about today's sponsor, and that is you guys. You guys are sponsoring the video. Be sure to like and comment below. If you're really enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe because I'm about to bring you guys a whole lot more content. Enjoy the rest of the video. Can we do a quick workaround of the leaders and a quick take on what you think? We could start with Trump.
Natural born leader, God sent.
Very flattering.
Absolutely.
Joe Biden.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Zelensky?
I'm thinking he might be an installed actor.
Okay.
He could possibly
He was a
be
comedian. And that's
put in on purpose because, you know, the president prior to him was definitely deep state. So I don't know. I'm going to reserve my comments for that. I don't care for him.
Can I ask, in
but
the
I think he's a
media
good actor.
in the past month, they've been, you know, trumping him up as like a hero defending his homeland. They say he had the opportunity to flee but didn't. What do you think about that stuff when they say he's staying there and fighting for his country?
He's hiding behind women and children. He's sending his own army out against their people. He's hiding weapons on top of school buildings and residential areas. He's using his people to protect himself. And honestly, I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there.
You don't think he's there? It's been interesting because people have been questioning his use of maybe green screens.
It's green screens behind him. Yeah, I don't think it's.
Do you think that he should surrender given the circumstances, that he's just throwing his people to the...
And I think it's already a done deal. I think that mainstream media is just portraying it as an ongoing thing. I think it was in, out. I think Putin's already cleaned it up. I think all the areas that he targeted are already gone and destroyed. So I think it's just optics at this point.
Last person to talk about, Vladimir Putin. What do you think?
I do think he is their Trump.
Wow.
I think he was also God sent.
Wow.
He's a good Christian man.
Trump is Putin-like and Putin is Trump-like. They're similar figures.
I do, and I think they're equally vilified.
It seems like you have more flattering things to say about Putin than you do Zelensky and Biden.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you, what are your top issues that you're concerned about as Trump-supporting Georgian? I don't know if you guys are from Georgia, but...
My biggest issue is saving the children. I mean, it really... Take away everything else, save the kids. That's my biggest issue. And it seems to be the least talked about in mainstream media. They don't even care about that.
You're
Well, they're
about,
the
like,
ones
pedophiles
doing
and things like that.
The pedophilia, the panda eyes, Pizzagate. Yeah.
Do you guys have any reliable news sources that you could trust?
Yes. And we know... And we know
Is that
Phil Godleski. Yeah, we love LT, Fox 22, X22. Yes, we are well informed.
So we're asking Trump supporters today, do you support Ukraine? Yes or no? And you guys could tally down here, and then we could talk a little bit about it. So do you guys support Ukraine? We got one yeah, if you could pass it to your buddy. Another yes, and let's see for a third, 3 yeses. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you guys support Ukraine?
Because, I mean, they're pretty much allies.
Sure.
Honestly.
Putin says that, you know, he doesn't like Ukraine on their border and he's trying to denazify Ukraine. Have you heard that, and do you think any of that is true?
I think he is not a man of his word, honestly.
Yeah. He's a pussy. He's a pussy.
He's a pussy.
Absolutely. You guys got Biden sucks, Kamala swallows. And then on the back, it says, F Joe and the Ho. If you guys could pan this way, it says, F Joe and the Ho. Can you tell me a little bit more about the message you guys are trying to send here?
Fuck Joe Biden.
Fuck everything to do with Biden.
Fuck Joe Biden.
And then also, it's not only Biden, it's also Kamala. Can you tell me a little bit more about the bottom part here?
She swallows, no, she swallows.
I fucked her.
Can you tell me more about why you guys think so lowly of Kamala?
Because, I mean, Main thing I'm worried about diesel is about down $6.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah. I know.
$7 to fill my goddamn truck.
Pays $300 for my shit up.
I know Kamala did have relationships with one of the San Francisco people who did eventually promote her up the ladder.
Clinton. She's basically like a Bill Clinton, I feel like.
Interesting. Oh, female Bill Clinton. People say that, Kamala Harris is our first female president. We should be proud of that. What do you think about how our first female vice president has been doing in office?
She's dog
Yeah,
shit.
fuck that.
She's
I
dog
mean,
shit.
fuck her.
Gas prices.
Fuck her.
Shit's fucking ass.
Any chance I get you gentlemen to participate in our poll? We're asking, do you support Ukraine, yes or no? We got a no over there. Could you pass to your buddy over here? We got a yes over there. One yes, one no. From the group of nice young gentlemen. 2 and 1. All right, 3 and 1. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for participating. Yeah, you could join another day. No, get in there. Get in there. Nice. Oh, nice. That's a good strategy. That's not your first. You've drawn these
3
before,
years of
haven't you?
middle school.
Yeah, only 3. You look more experienced than that. Thank you. Do you support Ukraine? You could add the tally. Do you guys want to add the tallies too? We got one more, another yes. Do you support Ukraine, yes or no? No. Thank you so much. And why don't you support Ukraine?
Because Putin is going after Ukraine because of child sex trafficking and the drug trade. Has nothing to do with what the media has been telling.
This is yes, this is no. Awesome. Can I ask why you support the Ukrainians?
Because they're fighting for their country.
We're polling Trump supporters. Do you support Ukraine?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? This is the yes. Just do it through. Appreciate your time, sir. Enjoy the rally.
I subscribe, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, another one for Ukraine. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Cut around. You want to vote? So the question we're asking Trump supporters is, do you support Ukraine, yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. And can I ask, why do you support Ukraine?
Well, because they're being treated unfairly. Putin has no authority to take over them, but he feels like because they used to be part of the Soviet Union, he has a right to, and I feel like he wants to do that for access to the ports.
Can I ask, I hear some people say that the West is expanding NATO up until the border of Russia, and that's why Putin invaded. Have you heard that, and what do you think of that?
I've not heard that. I think Putin is greedy. I think he's evil. I think he's a Satan worshiper. I think he needs the Lord in his heart to change the way he is. I also think Trump needs to be our next president because I truly believe Putin would not have had the nerve to do this had Trump been the president. I feel like he sees Biden as weak, as backboneless, as well as the VP Kamala Harris. And I think they've hurt our country. I think they've hurt Ukraine. I think they've hurt the world.
We have our poster board over here. We've been polling Trump supporters here in Georgia if they support Ukraine or not. You just tallied no. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you don't support Ukraine?
Because it's a corrupt shithole. Sure. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's the deep state's money laundering honeypot, and they're creating bioweapons. It's not a good place. It's not the democracy that the mainstream media is trying to make it out to be. It's filled with Nazis. And
you think Ukraine is filled with Nazis?
Oh, the Azov battalion are Nazis. They escaped from Germany in World War II to avoid the Nuremberg trials, and
but you think, like, as I understand, a majority, like they have one or two seats in parliament there.
Ukrainian citizens aren't the people that are at fault. It's a corrupt government, and
well, it is their country that's getting invaded. So what do you think about Putin invading Ukraine like a month or so ago?
Well, it's a tricky situation. I mean, NATO is trying to bully him, and what do you think was going to happen? That he wasn't going to retaliate? So it's pretty much the West's fault why Putin did it.
You feel as though the NATO and the West is bullying Putin?
Absolutely.
How would you respond to somebody saying Putin's bullying the West? They invaded Crimea. You know, it was a sovereign part of Ukraine. What do you think about that? Crimea?
I mean, the Kiev regime, they've been bombing Donbass and Crimea for the past 8 years. They've killed over 14,000 Ukrainians. They've been committing genocide.
Wow. You'd say you'd amount it to genocide.
It's definitely genocide. If you kill 14,000 people, that's a genocide.
What do you call what Putin's doing in Ukraine genocide as well? They're saying he's been killing innocent civilians, as I understand.
Well, that's what the media says, but I mean, how can you trust anything that the media is actually saying about it?
Well, the media is saying the same people who are saying that Ukraine is genociding the people in the Donbass
but you
region.
can actually look up the information of what they've been doing in Ukraine with the genocide, and the same people that are lying about the effectiveness, lying about the hospitalizations, lying about the election, they're all of a sudden going to be starting to tell the truth about the Ukraine.
I know it's been hard to get reliable news. Can I ask, do you have any trusted, reliable news sources?
Not many. Not
but
many.
You can name drop somebody, not even a network.
I mean, obviously Steve Bannon. He's pretty much the closest thing to reliable that you're gonna get. And Tucker, he does a lot of good stuff, but he still doesn't hit on the election fraud that happened.
Any time of the day, an elevator, walking down the hall, motorcade, restaurant, wherever, and all in prayer, President Trump, he was always and remember his president.
Donald Trump's due to give a speech. I know Herschel Walker's due to give a speech. David Perdue is supposed to give a speech. Can you tell me, why are you guys so excited to be out here?
Because we support all of them. We want to save America. We want to bring back America. Sure. And we want to support all of the conservative people that are running for office in November. And because we've got to do something to save our state, to save our country. Absolutely. Because it's going down the tubes.
What do you mean when you say saving our country? Joe Biden says he's trying to save our country too. What do you guys think of that? What do you mean when you think save our country?
Needs to be America again.
Yeah. And what does that mean though? What is making America again look like? Freedom.
It's doing right for America, putting America first, just like Donald Trump was doing when he was president. And that's not happening now.
Absolutely.
And everything, we've got all of the inflation, I've never had to go to the grocery store and worry about what I'm buying, never. Absolutely. But now I have to.
Let me ask you guys, in 2020, Trump lost in Georgia, and then on the Senate runoffs following that, 2 Democrats won 2 other Senate seats here in Georgia. What do you guys think about that? Trump eventually said that the election was stolen.
It was stolen. We most believe it was.
When you guys say the election was stolen, could you elaborate a little bit more? How do you figure? What does that mean?
They cheated with the Dominion voting machines. Cheated big time.
Dominion?
Ballot drop boxes. All of it was just way too shady.
Yeah. As I understand, they did an audit in Georgia. It didn't overturn anything, and Brian Kemp actually ended up certifying the election. He's a Republican.
Well,
Trump endorsed him in the past.
He sold us out anyway.
He's
a rhino.
He sold you guys out?
Yes, he did.
Did you guys vote for Brian Kemp in the past? Because I think Donald Trump actually endorsed him in the past.
We did.
Yeah. Yes. So how does it feel that Brian Kemp, Donald Trump told him not to certify the election. You guys support this guy, and he eventually did certify.
He
sold us out.
He sold us out. He is selling our country out. Biden is selling our country out.
Yeah.
It's not America anymore. It's getting worse and worse every day. People don't feel like they have the right to tell their opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, if somebody says they like Biden, that's their opinion. This is a free country. We're supposed to have our own opinion.
I wanted to ask you ladies, there's a lot of issues going on in our country and around the world. Gas prices are shooting up. There's a conflict in Ukraine. Trump still seems to be focusing on the election being stolen in 2020. Is that a top issue for you guys while there are so many other things going on?
There's a lot of other things going on, but why wouldn't we have that a top issue? Mm-hmm. Biden's in there and he didn't get elected. He's not the president.
I have seen many times Trump speaking on the Ukraine fight over there and saying how impressed he was. Yeah. He is seeing other issues. It's just some people aren't paying attention. They need to wake up.
Let me follow up with you ladies on the conflict in Ukraine. Do you support the Ukrainians?
I support their fight against Russia, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Do you guys support Ukraine as well? What do you think of the conflict? Yes?
I support them as well.
Absolutely.
I don't.
You don't? And why not?
I don't. Because all the dirty dealings that was done with the Biden family with Ukraine, they are corrupt, very corrupt.
But the people
aren't. No.
What do you think of Putin invading Ukraine?
Civilians, the attacks that we've seen on civilians, that I don't approve of that. Mm-hmm. And it's heartbreaking.
Should we support the Ukrainians militarily?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
I don't think we necessarily should go in with boots on the ground, but they should have got those MiGs and all of that that they need to fight the war and fight against Russia invasion.
So the question we're asking is, do you support Ukraine? Yes or no?
Yeah, I would do. Yeah.
Can I ask you a little bit more about why you support Ukraine?
Yeah, sure. Just against Putin and you know, he's a dictator and you know, can't invade another country, right? So they deserve their sovereignty and they're their own country. So it's not his right to do that.
I've spoken to some people who said Putin's trying to denazify Ukraine on his border. Have you heard that? And what do you think about Ukraine or Putin saying that he's trying to denazify Ukraine?
It's funny because he's like Israeli descent, right? So
Jewish.
Jewish descent. Yeah, exactly.
And
So
family was killed in the Holocaust.
yeah, and so it's kind of crazy that they say that whenever he's invading the country, just like Hitler did back in the 40s. So yeah.
So you say you support them, we should send arms maybe, but how would you respond to somebody who's saying if we do too much to support Ukraine that we're risking a bigger conflict with Putin?
I think that we probably should send arms, you know, allow them to defend themselves. We have a lot more problems here in our country. We got a lot of housekeeping to take care of here. We've got an invasion on our southern border. Inflation's out of control. You can't get groceries in the grocery stores. I mean, I can go on and on. Crime is rampant. We've got homeless. I mean, it's just.
Let me ask here. One of the consequences of supporting Ukraine has been to sanction Russia. By sanctioning Russia, that shot up oil prices even more higher than they have been already. Do you think the Americans could withstand that to support the Ukrainians, these increasing gas prices that we're suffering through now?
I think like if we just would go back to being energy independent like we were under President Trump, that would take care of everything. It would eliminate inflation right away.
It's a global commodity, oil, so
yeah.
You know.
But whenever we're energy independent here in the United States, gas prices are low. We're taking care of our citizens first. Yeah, it's our duty to police the world because we're the superpower, right? But at the same time, we need to take care of our own here.
Absolutely.
And you know, $5, $6, $7 a gallon gas is unacceptable.
Thank you. Enjoy the rally, guys.
Thank you.
Do you support Ukraine?
Oh, yes.
Nice. Thank you. Do you guys want to participate? We're polling Trump supporters. Do you support Ukraine?
I have no idea.
No idea? Cool.
What'd you say?
Do you support Ukraine? We're polling Trump supporters. So we're doing yes or no. Another yes. Thank you. Do you want to vote in?
Where's no?
One yes, and then this is no?
I am no.
Oh, you guys are split. Interesting. Another, let's see, do you support Ukraine? Another yes. Thank you, sir. Do you guys want to participate? More legit than the Georgia elections? Our polling? Do you support Ukraine? Yes or no? Another yes. Thank you, sir. Lady, do you support Ukraine? Another yes. Thank you for your time. Do you guys want to participate?
Sure.
Run, Herschel, run. We're asking Trump supporters, do you support Ukraine? And you could throw in another tally. Thank you so much, sir. Enjoy the rally. Do you support Ukraine? No. You could do it maybe over here.
Put a Putin on there.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rally. Thanks for participating. You guys want to vote?
I'm sorry.
We're asking Trump supporters.
Because he's better than that piece of.
Wow. One for Putin. So do you support Ukraine?
Yes.
Thank you for participating. Enjoy the rally, guys. Good, sir. Another yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
What is it for?
It's just my personal social media. I'm polling Trump supporters, seeing if they support Ukraine or not.
Do I support Ukraine?
Yes, do you support Ukraine? Putin invaded Ukraine about a month ago.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But what?
Well, yes, we support Ukraine.
So, yes, you support Ukraine. Do you support Ukraine too? Do you want to get your vote heard?
If Trump was in office, we wouldn't even be in war right now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Walker, what would it take for you to endorse David Perdue? Who? David Perdue. What would it take for you to endorse him?
You want me to endorse him?
Would you endorse? That's a question. Dude. They're not going to let him. Who's David Perdue? Sir, what would it take for you to endorse David Perdue?
Endorse David?
What would it take for you to endorse David?
Oh, David is going to endorse Herschel.
You want him to endorse you first, and then you endorse him back?
Hey, I want you to do an interview with me.
I can do an interview with you?
Yeah, sometime.
Okay, I'll hit you up. Thank you, Herschel. Excuse me, Mr. Perdue, is there anything that could convince you to endorse Herschel Walker, who's currently running for Senate here in Georgia?
Right here, bud.
Thank you. Is there anything that could convince you to endorse Senate candidate Herschel Walker? This was somebody who was also endorsed by Trump. I spoke to Herschel earlier. When I asked him, he said, has Perdue endorsed me? But so is there anything that anything that Walker could do to get your endorsement, sir? Have you been offered his endorsement? So anything that could convince you one way or another, sir? Thank you for your time and good luck in your race.
I support Ukraine. I don't support fucking Biden and his fucking his son has spent all his fucking art show there.
Can I ask why you ladies support Ukraine?
I don't.
Can I ask why you guys support Ukraine?
I mean,
If you don't know, you don't know.
no, but so why wouldn't I? I mean, yeah, absolutely. If everybody is equal, 100%.
Fuck you. Okay, any chance I get a quick thoughts on the leaders on the board, real quickly, starting with Trump?
Trump is amazing.
And what about Biden? We're out here in Georgia for the Trump rally. You're online here. You have the full Make America Great Again get up and the Make America Great Again hat. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you're out here and why you're such a big supporter of Trump?
Well, I think the number one reason is because America is in time. It needs saving. I think the existing presidential office, Biden, he's not really doing a good job. He's not giving us secure borders. Obviously, you guys can see with the gas prices, it probably took you guys a little extra money to fill up the tank as you got here. No one wants that. And all the foreign policy things, everything that Trump had put into play, he's just completely wiped it out. So those are the main reasons. And we need more money in our pockets. I mean, it's a big thing.
You mentioned foreign policy. I know one of the big foreign policy crises going on right now is Putin invading Ukraine. I think it's been a little over a month now. Yeah. What do you think about Putin invading Ukraine?
I mean, it's a tricky situation that's going on. I mean, people have different beliefs about it.
Should we support the Ukrainians? I guess the question.
I don't think we should be sending our men and women over there. I think they have their battle that they have to fight. They have their own borders to secure. I think they should use the resources readily available to them.
What about militarily? So no American boots on the ground, but I don't know, MiGs or other arms.
I don't believe we should be sending them any of that stuff either. I think they have their own battle to fight, and we have our own issues here that we need to resolve first before we start to help with them.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, a top issue that Trump seems to bring up constantly still is the 2020 election. Some say that he's only bringing in Perdue to run against Kemp because Kemp certified the election back in 2020. It was a close race here in Georgia. What do you think about election fraud being an issue, and is that a top issue for you as a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, we don't have the right voter laws in place. I mean, you don't even have to have an ID in some places to go and vote. I think that's a big issue that needs to be resolved first because Joe Schmo off the street shouldn't be able to just come and be able to vote out of nowhere. I think people should show valid registration when they go to vote. I mean, we have to secure our elections up. It's very important.
Did you support Brian Kemp in the past? He was a Trump-endorsed nominee in the past.
I was a little wishy-washy with Kemp in the first place, so for Perdue to come back and be his opposition now, I mean, it just kind of solidifies what a lot of other people are thinking as well.
What do you think of Kemp's decision to certify the election after there was some audit? They didn't say there was enough evidence to overturn.
I think honestly Kemp just didn't do his due diligence. I mean, there's more of a thing that more of the American people wanted to see from him get done. So that's just how I feel about it.
One last question. Following the 2020 election, there was like a 2020 Senate runoff here for 2 Senate seats. They both went Democrat. This is a relatively reliably red state. Both of them flipped to blue.
Yes.
Do you blame that on election fraud? Do you blame that? Some people say it was a bad strategy to just keep saying that the elections were rigged and it would discourage voter outcome. Like, what do you think of Democrats managing to get both those seats? What do you blame those huge losses on? This flipped the Senate, so this is politically significant.
I think probably what their main goal was, it was kind of like what you're alluding to. It's just more of trying to cause confusion and division between this party, and I think that's the whole ultimate reason why they won those 2 seats. I mean, I think it just comes down to that.
And although you believe the election is stolen, you will still participate in future elections?
100%. It's our civil duty to continue to vote and get out and vote and encourage other people to vote.
Hey everybody, let's take a look at some of our final polling results here outside the Georgia Trump rally. We're asking Trump supporters here, do you support Ukraine? It seems as though the yeses almost double the no's, at least in our poll here. Something, an interesting outcome, especially if you're hyper online or hyper on Twitter or Instagram or something. We also have pictures of 4 leaders, Trump, Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. 3 of these 4 leaders actually acquired Hitler mustaches throughout this polling process. Trump was the only one who was spared. Some very interesting results out here in Georgia. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, everybody. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments. If this is your first time here, guys, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you had a favorite part of the video, let me know in the comments what your favorite part was. Until next time, everybody, stay barely informed. Please sign my hood.
Yeah.
He told us to sign it. He was standing here.
Please sign the hood. I'll sign the hood.
Sign the hood. All right, Elad, what are we doing today, brother? We're signing a Jeep.
Elad? I'm not Elad. I'm Donald.
I'm Donald.
Oh, Donald J. Donald. Donald J. Donald Trump. Donald J. Donald Trump Jr.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's kind of...
It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be...
It's gonna be huge. He's going to check if I wrote. I'm fucking gay on
Yeah, literally.